We are Satoshi. You're Satoshi, I'm Satoshi. We're all Satoshi. Except for Craig Wright. What's up, guys? It is Tuesday, October 31st, 2024. We're at the Bitcoin block height of 868,338. TikTok, next block. Happy Bitcoin white paper day today. Now, for those of you that don't stack Bitcoin, I want you to Google that, what it means, the Bitcoin white paper. It was launched today, depending on where you were in the country, but some say it's November 1st, but universally recognized on October 31st, Halloween, 16 years ago today. So, changed the world that day, changed the world. And today is supposed to be a celebration. And I hate to talk about what I'm about to talk about today on a momentous day like this, but I have to, because we're in the final 4, 5, 6 days of the election, and a lot of things are going to happen over the next few months that I have to talk about today. So, as we know, the race is the presidential race is kicking up a notch. And I'm going to try to watch my language here because I'm not a happy camper today. So I turned on the mainstream media today so that you don't have to. And I saw what they were doing today. And I was thinking, okay, what are they going to spin here? You know, how are they going to spin the Joe Biden thing from yesterday, calling Trump supporters trash or garbage? Because again, it's okay to call us fascists and Nazi sympathizers and stuff like that. That's okay. But the trash thing, that went a little too far for people. And let's just say they didn't speak the truth, and they now context all of a sudden matters. Well, what did they do today? Well, Trump came out and did that speech out there in, I believe, Green Bay, Wisconsin, something like that. And in part of the speech, he was talking about basically protecting women, and he doesn't care whether they want him to protect them or not, or something to that effect. And so, of course, the mainstream media has to have something, right? They got to have something to pearl clutch about. So now they're like, oh, man, what do you mean it's not women's choices to get protected? What do you mean, you know? And obviously, in context, he was talking about, you know, the illegal immigrants and women just... A lot of women in this country have gotten messed up by these illegal immigrants. Women, children. You know, it's just devastating what has been done to this country. And instead of saying, yeah, he's a great president for wanting to protect women, they try to spin that. My God, man, these people are desperate. Desperate. Let me say this before I get into my my theories. First of all, men are supposed to protect women. They're supposed to protect women. Now, I'm going to say some things that are going to be a little bit controversial. I'm an old school dude. I'm Generation X. I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I grew up with my grandparents. And I grew up with baby boomers and my uncles and aunts and stuff like that. And my grandparents were from the silent generation. So I don't recognize this pussy ass world that everybody else is in. I don't even acknowledge it. All this woke shit, this woke nonsense, all this bullshit. I said I wasn't gonna cuss. I don't prescribe to none of this garbage. None of it, right? A man's job is supposed to protect the woman. A man is supposed to protect the woman, period, end of story, whether she likes it or not. Here's what I mean. If I'm with a woman and an attacker comes at us, I'm not gonna run away, okay? Whether she likes it or not, I'm gonna go and protect her from that attacker. I don't think she's going to say, well, I didn't want you to protect me. And if she did do that, then oh well. So what? If a woman's with me, I'm going to protect her, period. Women, children, whatever. That's what a real man does. And we've lost that in this country. And Byron Donalds, Republican black man from Florida, representative from the House of Representatives, he was on CNN today. And they were just putting him through the ringer. And he was answering the questions, but he couldn't really answer them like he wanted to because, you know, he's a sitting congressman. But I'm not. I don't give a shit. And I'm listening to this and I'm just like, he's trying to be politically correct and all this other shit. I'm not politically correct. This is why I could never be in Congress, man. I don't want to pull the I'm too real card or whatever, but I can't be fake, man. And they just put up all bunch of out of context stuff and everything else. And at this point, guys, what they're doing in this election, and I said this a few weeks ago, this is flat out election interference in my personal opinion. They are interfering with our elections. Why do I say that? It's one thing to lean Democrat or Republican. Fox News leans Republican, and Democrats have their networks, MSDNC and stuff like that. But they are literally campaigning for Kamala Harris, and they're lying about Donald Trump. They're lying for Kamala Harris in her favor, and they're lying against Trump against him. And what ABC did at the debate, when they fact checked Trump a bunch of times and didn't with her, and he's going back and forth with them, and what these people do on a daily basis. Again, I'm all for freedom of speech. You can say what you want. The problem is you are literally a campaign surrogate now. You're like Mark Cuban right now. These networks, and it's a shame, man. And people believe this. They actually buy it because they don't like Trump. The reason why most people don't like Trump is because of the mainstream media. Let's just keep it real, right? People used to love Trump. Trump is the realest dude you ever meet. You may not like him, but he's not fake like Kamala Harris. I was watching J.D. Vance today, speaking of real, on Joe Rogan, just sitting there having a conversation. Again, Kamala Harris could never do that. She dropped the bag on that. But again, the reason why she did is because she can't do that. And again, Joe Rogan leans left. He hasn't come out and, rolled out for Donald Trump and these boys. But real recognizes real, man. Joe Rogan is like, man, this is why Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., and the rest of these people, these Democrats are leaving the party because they know that this party is not what it used to be. This is not your grandfather's Democratic Party. This is not RFK or JFK, John F. Kennedy, John F. Kennedy Jr.'s party. This is not one of the greatest Democrats of all time. This is not the party that I grew up in. Democrats used to be completely different. They used to be against gay marriages. They used to be for closed borders and stuff like that. They may have wanted a bigger government and government help and different things than the Republicans did, but they weren't like they are now. I mean, the left has gone too left. The woke agenda has completely destroyed people's willingness and ability to reason. Why do I say that? Because they're trying to tell you that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. And we know factually that's not true. Can you imagine saying that in 2010? Even thinking about arguing with somebody about that? Of course not. Because it's bullshit. Again, they cook us slowly in a pot like frogs. But what Donald Trump has done since 2015, he came out of the escalator. Because again, I've never heard the term fake news till he brought it out. He's like the stick that's hitting the beehive. Democrats and Republicans, mind you, mostly Democrats, and some Republicans that are rhinos and swamp creatures. They don't want him there. He's an outsider. He's what I call a blue collar billionaire, right? Even though he's not like us and stuff like that. Of course, he didn't grow up like us, but he's very successful, and he's failed a lot. But it's not how many times you get knocked down; it's how many times you get up. And people knock him for going bankrupt. Well, he came back from it. You know what I mean? Just because you give somebody $1 billion or a few $1 million or whatever he got, because I hear different things, doesn't mean you know what to do with it. And he's done that and more. He became the president of the United States, and these people in Washington, D.C. hate him for it because he's an outsider. He's not one of these people. And he said it. He made a mistake when he first got in there because he's not a D.C. guy. He hired the wrong people. But now, these lobbyists and these big groups that normally pay after the election, pay for the staff of the White House and take donors for them, are not doing that anymore. It's all private money. And so his whole staff his whole executive branch staff is going to be from private money, and they're going to be working for him, directly for him, and no one else. And that's a big deal, and they can't have that. These swamp creatures can't have it. So I talked about Nikki Haley yesterday, and now on that CNN, because again, when a Republican goes on CNN, it's a debate. It's not an interview. It's a debate. When Byron Donalds was talking to that guy on CNN, the interviewer, he pulled up Nikki Haley's comments. And again, Nikki Haley is a wolf in sheep's clothing. I told you that woman can't be trusted. She knows every time she says something against Donald Trump, they're going to use those words against Donald Trump. And that's exactly what happened today. I was just talking about that yesterday. And she made a comment, and the comment that I talked about yesterday, and they played it. And they said, well, what do you think about that? Now, again, Byron Donalds can't say, well, who gives a fuck what Nikki Haley says? But I can say it. Who gives a fuck what Nikki Haley says? Nikki Haley is a warmonger. She's a rhino. I cannot stand that woman more than I can't stand Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton. And that's saying something. So now what? What's going to happen? Well, today's October 31st. Tomorrow's November 1st. I think early voting ends today or tomorrow. And the rest of the voting is going to happen on next Tuesday. And I think there's 3 levels to this. And I got to be careful how I say this because, again, free speech ain't free. But let's just say the first level is there's going to be some shenanigans in the voting. That's the first step. Second step is, and I got to watch what I say here. But let's just say if he wins, they're going to say there were some shenanigans on our side. And third, and most important, Jamie Raskin already came out. He's the lead something of the House of Representatives, the guy that had cancer that wears the thing. He's a Democrat, evil man. He came out and basically said they're not going to certify the election under the 14th Amendment, Article 3, I believe it was. Look that clip up, Jamie Raskin. It'll be another January 6th, 2025. And he said this. This is what he said, YouTube. I'm just telling you what he said, YouTube, okay? He said that the MAGA crazies are going to go crazy once they don't certify the election. And we're going to need bodyguards to get ready for civil war. And that's scary, man. That's scary because I don't know how we can patch this divide back up. Because, again, when the Democrats are trying to pearl clutch today on Donald Trump's words of trying to protect women no matter what they like it or not, it backfired because stupid-ass Mark Cuban went on The View today. And by the way, The View is, they're doing election interference too, in my personal opinion. He went up there and said, Donald Trump doesn't have any smart, intelligent, or strong women around him, conservative women around him. And let me tell you, man, he's getting a lot of backlash for that. And again, I'm not a woman, obviously, and I'm not a pearl clutcher, but I don't think that's really pearl clutching when you're telling all the women that are on the conservative side that you're dumb and you're weak. That was not a good move on Mark Cuban's part. And again, every time they try to do something against Trump, it backfires on them and it gets turned right back on them like a boomerang. And I'm loving it, man. Karma is coming back real quick for these people. And I'm absolutely loving it. But when all these things are said on each side, it's not good, man. And Mark Cuban he's a surrogate for Kamala Harris. He pays her a lot of money. She's one of his bosses. He's a puppet of hers. And he wants to get Donald Trump, and he wants to be Elon Musk. That's what he's doing. He's got to axe the grind because he tried to get or help Donald Trump during his administration. Because if you pull up Mark Cuban, 2016, 2017, 2018, he loved Donald Trump. But Donald Trump didn't need his money. He didn't want his money, and he didn't want to take any of his advice. So what did Mark Cuban do? He turned on him. He became the male version of Rachel Maddow. You see those stupid-ass glasses he wear? What a fucking soy boy, man. Again, if you notice these Democrats, men are very feminine and weak and bitches. I'm going to say it like this, man. I don't know if our country can mend and get back together. Unless these stupid-ass Democrats that follow the Democrat Party wake up. You got Joe Biden nibbling and biting on kids. And I'm so sick and tired of this shit, man. I said this on Facebook, and I'm going to say it right now. Fuck it, I don't care. If you're in the Democrat Party in the year 2024, you're either one or two things. Either you're stupid as fuck or you're evil. You're stupid because you don't understand what they're doing to you. Because I'm talking about people that are all into politics and and saying all these things about racism and this, that, and the third. And two, you're evil if you know what they're doing and you still go along with it. Let me tell you how fake the Democratic Party is, okay? And I don't like to play the Democrat-Republican game because, again, it's a big swamp that Republicans are into, and establishment Republicans and Democrats. But the far left wing of the party, and on the federal level, the Democrat Party is just completely captured right now. So let me explain something to you about the Democrat Party. And I'm telling you this as a black man, okay? Democrats don't give a fuck about black people. They don't care about racism. Because if you're a black conservative, a black libertarian, a black patriot, a black MAGA, they don't care about you. They'll call you an Uncle Tom. They'll call you this. They'll call you that. They'll call you anything. And they don't care about you because you don't go along with the Democratic Party. They don't care about women. Why do I say that? Look what Mark Cuban just said. They don't care about that. They only care about people that are part of their party. If they cared about women, why are they not talking about Joe Biden's victim, the lady that accused him of something? Because it goes against the Democrats and Joe Biden. Why do they don't care about Kamala Harris's husband with the nanny and the other girl that he pimp slapped or whatever, and all this other? They don't care because, again, it goes against the Democratic Party. Everything these people say is a fucking lie, guys. I'm sorry. Period. End of story. It is. When you hear them talking about democracy, which, again, they don't care about democracy, because if they did, they wouldn't have pulled a coup on Joe Biden and propped up Kamala Harris with not one vote whatsoever, because she didn't have one vote in 2019, 2020 when she ran the primary. They would have had a primary in 2024, even before they pulled the coup on Joe Biden, because there's a lot of Democrats that wanted to step up. Look what they did to RFK Jr. RFK. Look what they did to him. Don't give a fuck about democracy. Look what they did to Bernie Sanders in 2016. You know what I mean? They just boosted up a handful of elites, boosted up Hillary Clinton. They did the same thing with Joe Biden. Now they did it with Kamala Harris. They don't care about democracy, man. The Democratic Party, when they talk about democracy, is this. Democracy equals Democrat power and control. Period. That's what it means. Don't fall for that bullshit and that nonsense. They don't care about black people. They don't care about women. They don't care about trans people. They don't care about none of that shit. Because what's her name's trans? What's his name? Kylie Jenner or whatever. Bruce Jenner. They don't care about him, her, whatever the fuck. Why? Because he's a conservative. Don't give a fuck about that. It's all about Democrat Party power and control, period. So, it's supposed to be a good day. White paper day. Anyway, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, guys, listen. We got some rough sailing over the next few days, okay? And it's going to be absolutely insane. But the water is going to be choppy, right? But we got to hold on for dear life. Hold on and don't let go. And for those of you that haven't or don't know about what the Bitcoin white paper is and who Satoshi is, I suggest you take a hard look at that, man. Because as much as I love Trump, I think he's going to help inflation in the short term a little bit with some of his policies. Over the long term, he's still plugged into a very, very corrupt and evil system. And the US dollar, like I said about the boat, is a sinking ship. He may slow it down, but eventually it's going to sink. And there's only one money in the world that will never sink. It's digital, it's hard, and there's only 21 million, and it's capped out at that number. And if you've been on this channel long enough, I'm pretty sure you guys already know what it is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.